You still hear me, Tom?
I can hear you perfect. Yep. Hello. I am Tom from MMA UK, and I am joined by Luke Cahill.
My fault for mentioning Lee Madison, that, isn't it? To be fair,
It is. It literally, we've just been talking about the MMA of the last few days. But yeah, Luke Cahill from Combat Unit Liverpool, who is currently 1-0 in his amateur MMA career, looking to go 2-0 next month. How are you doing today?
Doing sound, mate. Doing sounds.
Good. I was saying, if anybody has watched his previous fight, it is the same person. He's decided to shave his head and, in his words, go full Mirko Pro Cop.
I do one thing I'm looking at, you know what I mean? If I get the high kick in this next fight, then, I have to start wearing the Croatian shorts, won't I? You know what I mean?
It's got to happen. You've got to, So I thought we'd start chronologically. If you want to take over and sort of say how you got started in MMA, was it straight to MMA? Were you started looking at other options?
So what it was basically before MMA. I've done martial arts for about 11 years now. I was on karate for like 6 years, but I started wanting to do like full contact martial arts. So I got into Thai boxing, and I was off and on for a few years. And basically about 2 years ago, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take it proper serious now. So I was going at least 3 days a week, and after about 7-8 months, I was asked into the advanced class, and I'd done about 4 interclubs, and my coach was just like, "There's a fight there going if you want to do it."
Mm-hmm.
This was July last year, and I was like, "Go ahead, I want to do that," because that's what I was training for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just kind of kept at it. Do you know what I mean? Like I had 4 Thai fights, and then I joined the combat unit in April, and obviously I had quite a bit of experience in striking because I've been doing it for years and stuff. But I only really started training MMA in April, and then after about a month or so, Connor just said to me, he's like, "When are you looking on fighting?" I went, "Well, soon as really, do you know what I mean? I just want to keep getting out there." And at first he was like, "Well, I'll put you in for this MMA fight," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure about that." Mm-hmm. Because I've only been doing MMAs for about a month, do you know what I mean? So I was like, if it goes to the ground, I'm a bit, And he's like, "Nah, you'll be sound in that." So I thought about it, I thought, you know what, I'll go for it. And the fight I was meant to have the first fight was meant to be in June, but the guy pulled out on the day. But then 2 weeks later, I had BMF, which is the fight that you've seen me on. And by that point, because I've been putting the work in, I felt like I was ready to go, do you know what I mean? So that's how I sort of got into the MMA, but yeah.
How was that transition from sort of a completely striking martial art, incorporating the sort of the grappling, the clinching, you've got clinching, but the jiu-jitsu and stuff, were that smooth enough for you? Did you adapt well enough?
Yeah, it's more when it's on, when it first started, it was more when it was just on the ground, because it was so alien in a way, do you know what I mean? Obviously, because it's completely different, Thai boxing and like jiu-jitsu, do you know what I mean? So obviously striking wise, it was it's very similar, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, when it comes to the wrestling and grappling, it was totally new territories to me, but I've picked it up really quick because I've been getting in all the time. Do you know what I mean? So, even now, I know a few submissions of my own and stuff, and I've been working with a guy who's a top wrestler. So I'm saying I've got all 3 bases covered, mate. Do you know what I mean? So.
We're looking at Instagram on the combat unit, and it looks a great setup down there.
Oh, it's boss, mate. It's not a massive gym, but I think that's what makes it boss, is because it's got such a boss community of people, and the coaching is just unbelievable. Like, my coaches, Connor, Luke, and Steve, they're just on the ball, mate. Like, they just know what they're doing. There's honestly the best coaches I've worked with, to be honest with you. I'm not just saying that. Genuinely, I've improved so much the past 4 months ever since it's been since April. It's unbelievable.
It's nice to see that sort of. I think in the UK we are starting to see more MMA gyms pop up where it is you're doing everything.
Yeah.
So you're going to see less of singular martial arts and people finding one and transitioning.
Yeah.
Well, I think you are seeing.
You want to do all of it because it's like, why do you just want to limit yourself to one? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I found myself that when I started doing MMA, it's like, yeah, I'm sound, standing and banging, but as soon as someone puts me on the ass, I'm like a fish out of the water. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I've got a clue what I'm doing. Like, do you know what I mean?
We had a conversation yesterday, me and my friend, from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, where we were walking through this ankle pick, and he's like, "Well, in a real fight, that's cool, but I'll just hit you." Like, that's a fair point.
It is funny, to be fair, because I do feel a bit like that sometimes when I'm doing jiu-jitsu, where I'll be on top of someone and I'm trying to get a position, but I'm just like, if this was MMA, it's so easy to just boom. Do you know what I mean? It does me in sometimes. I like, but you know, it is what it is.
It is interesting. Moving on to your first fight, James Smith. So both of you that was your first fight going into it. Yeah. And if anyone hasn't seen that fight, I do recommend going to see it because it was a first round TKO. I think it was in the closing minute that you finished it, but having watched it a few times, I think if that would have finished a minute earlier, I don't think you'd have had many complaints. And watching it, I was trying to work out how it finished, and I'm like, you hit that head kick almost straight away. And it were interesting to see, having you said you didn't have that sort of ground game as much, that there were the two guillotines that you got him in that potentially looked a bit dangerous there.
Yeah, well, my coach says that I could have finished it, but the thing is, because it was me lack of experience there, I was like, I don't want to use all my energy trying to finish this choke here.
Yeah,
because it is. I've been really tight. I caught him a few times in that guillotine, but it was one of them. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick to what I know, because that was the game plan anyway. Was just keep it standing. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was the plan, was to strike. So every time I got in a position like that, I thought, well, because you even hear Luke say to me when I drag him down, he's like, if you want to stand up, just stand him up. Yeah. So I thought, I'll just stand him up then. Do you know what I mean? So, but that was it. But I didn't. It's totally different. And like I say, it was my first MMA fight, and it's just it was totally different compared to being in the gym. Because in the gym, it's, you know, you haven't got adrenaline rushing through you and all that. And it's like, when I was in there, it was even like sprawling. I was like, this feels, and I've done it loads of times, you know what I mean? But whereas when I was in there, I was like, this just feels totally different. You know, it was just mad. But yeah, when it came, that was the plan, was just to keep it striking. Yeah. And I'm glad I went out the way it did, to be honest, because it made for an exciting fight, really, at the end of the day.
Always through it. Like, the commentators were going crazy. Like I said, rock 'em, sock 'em, robots. And they'll play roulette with the chins, which I thought was a great. But I thought, watching it back again, I thought that your defense was solid throughout where you were going. I thought James Smith, he was a great contender there. I thought he was throwing some big shots.
He was, yeah. He hit me with some really. He hit me. It's hard to see on the video, but he did. He cracked me with a couple of shots, especially the one at the end. It nearly took me fucking head off me. you see me fringe go from one side to the other. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there were a point where it looked like you were moving into finish, and I think one got through, and you sort of stepped back and sort of had a word with yourself for like, I've got this. Just don't rush in. Don't be crazy.
I think it just. What it was is just, I can't even remember mates being in there. It's just, at that point, it was just, I was just running on adrenaline and just trying to finish the guy. Do you know what I mean? That's all I was thinking of. But yeah, he has a good dig on him. Like, you know,
I think that you'd got him in the guillotines, and then you gave him a couple of good shots to the stomach, and then I think that, coupled with the adrenaline dump of having that first fight, I think that all weighed into how it ended up and finishing. But like I say, great showing from both of you. Next month, 19th of October, BMF 10 in Barnsley is your second opponent. Aris Koutsadimos. Apologies if I've so he's 1-0 as well. He got his win via rear naked choke. Now, I didn't know, from your perspective, is that going to play in, you know how he finished him, but it's not that much more knowledge. Is that going to play into your game plan at all?
Well, it's the same thing, really. You know, this is a stylistic matchup, really. Like, this is a striker versus a grappler, because I've watched videos of him and I can clearly tell he's a grappler. Do you know what I mean? It's no secret. So this is going to be my first match where, it's like I say, it's stylistically that sort of matchup. But I've been training for it. Do you know what I mean? Like I've been, I've been working wrestling, me grappling, and me striking, and I'm feeling confident, mate. It doesn't faze me whatsoever. To be honest, it makes it more exciting because like who knows what's going to happen here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say how have you took to that sort of the fight night vibes of things? Are you all on board with that one? Are you a nervous guy who just like, I can't wait, let's get stuck in?
It's everything, mate. It's like 1 minute you're excited, then the next you're like, you're wondering what you're doing, and you're excited again, and then you're nervous, and it's just one of them. Fighting's weird like that. Do you know what I mean? It's really weird when you're back there, like you feel boss 1 minute, and you're like you get a bit nervous, but that's just natural, mate. Do you know what I mean? Even at the highest level guys feel like that. Do you know what I mean? It's natural. You can't change it.
I don't care how good you are, anybody. You've got to still have that one point where you're like, actually, I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm feeling this one. Like wherever stage it's on. But
it's like Tom Aspinall. Like I watched a lot of Tom Aspinall stuff, and he says it all the time. Like, are you scared every time he goes in there? Of course you're not. Especially like my weight. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like 95. Like I'm fighting big dudes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was fighting, I had 4 guys who were bigger than me.
Yeah.
So if you're getting in there, and you're going against the guy who's like 6'6" or he's 120 kilos, you're like, size him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
exciting though at the same time. It's weird, like that.
Absolutely. What is after the second fight? Are you looking ahead? Do you have a plan? Is it so see what comes up, or do you know what you're doing?
Well, just keep on fighting, mate. Just keep on getting out there as much as I can. I've said to Connor, I'll fight MMA, I'll fight kickboxing, Thai. Because I still love striking, do you know what I mean? I still want to. I just want to get out there as much as I can. So that's the plan, really. Is just to keep fighting because I'm training 7 days a week. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I want to do.
This stage 1-0, second fight. It's experience, isn't it? It's gathering that everything, working all them different ways, and then just deciding which avenue you want to take, how you want to take it. But like I say. BMF 10, Barnsley, 19th of October. I'm hoping to be there myself, so hopefully we can meet up and I can see it live. I wish you all the best in the fight. I look forward to the Croatian shorts and honouring Crow Cup. But thank you for your time today. It's been a privilege, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yeah, man. Nice one, Tom. Nice one for speaking to us, mate.
Have a good one.
Easy, man. In a bit.